This video will show you how to conduct what we call a morphological search. That's where you wish to look up not simply the meaning and the lexicon for one form, but rather it's a sophisticated concordance search where you're collecting all occurrences in the Hebrew Bible of a particular form of a word. Let's consider, for example, this word kum that begins Jonah chapter 1, verse 2. Kum. Suppose that you want to know how many times in the Hebrew Bible do we find the shoresh kum used in this way, that is specifically as a second masculine singular imperative, meaning get up. The way in Logos to do that is to hover over the word and then right-click, much as if you were seeking a lexicon lookup, a lexicon search. However, this time we'll use a little different aspect of the pop-up panel. As we study the pop-up panel, we see that kum has been selected out of Jonah 1:2. The lemma is kof vav mem. If we were to parse this, this is the Logos code for this particular morphology. Now once again, if our interest is finding all occurrences of the shoresh kum as this particular form, that is, call second masculine singular imperatives, we can come over here to the left portion where it says morph search : then the shoresh is indicated, kofav nun, and then we have the at symbol followed by the same Logos code for its morphology, the same code that we see right here. The nice thing about this, we don't have to know that code. We can simply say, yes, that's what we'd like it to do. I will now left-click on this morph search. It automatically opens up a search panel. It drops in that search command here in the Find window and then engages the search. Let's see what has come back to us. It's telling us that if we want to look at the first entry in the Lexham Hebrew Bible, we could click on this. Let's take a look and see. Keep in mind that kum, this form from Genesis 1:2, is what started our search. I've now clicked on the initials LHB, Lexham Hebrew Bible, for the first entry that's offered, Genesis 13:17, and here it appears. Kum hithalech ba'aretz, and so forth. We'll want to pay attention to the heading that's here at the top of the gray bar, Genesis 13, verse 17, just as we requested here when we clicked on the LHB for this first return. And we find kum. It looks to me like this is God speaking to Abraham, saying, arise and walk back and forth in the land. Let's take a look at the second one. By the way, did you notice that that was addressed to a single male individual, so it's second masculine singular, and it is the imperative. How about Genesis 19? Here once again, it's very convenient. It's easy to find the occurrence because it's highlighted for us. Kum kach et ishtecha. Get up and take your wife, ve'et shtei venotecha, and your two daughters, and so forth. This appears to be the supernatural messenger coming to Lot and warning him to evacuate Sodom because the destruction which is about to come. He's told to get up and take his wife and his two daughters, and then he's to head out for his safety. Once again, the imperative is precise, isn't it? It's second masculine singular, just as the source form that began this search. All you need to do is scan down this list, the center column, the kum column, and you can see that consistently it uses this form. Occasionally it's spelled differently. How about this one, kuma? Is this really second masculine singular imperative? Let's click on it and see. This will take us to Numbers 10:35, and here we have the form kuma. It doesn't look like kum, it has a kametz hey after it. Let's see what's going on. As we hover over it and study the parsing window that pops up at the lower left, we see that yes, indeed, it is a kal binyan imperative of the second masculine singular. And it explains for us that the kametz hey is a paragogic hey. This is not a different person, number, gender. It's the same. It just is a specialized form of that same with the paragogic or lengthening he. Perhaps it would be confirming just to see that Jonah 1:2 does appear. We'll scroll down the list of hits, and we see that Jonah 1:2 appears. In fact, we find that same form is used 2 more times in Jonah, chapter 1, verse 6, and chapter 3, verse 2. So this is one of the ways that you can begin with a specific Hebrew form, such as we found in Jonah 1:2, and then ask Logos to return all other occurrences of that single form.